Jesus is one of the most amazing characters, real or not, whether you believe in terms of revolutionary love. He told his homeboys, man, I gotta go fast and pray, man. His boys are like, man, we coolin', we with you, dog. And then they went to sleep. They kicked it. So he up here, he by himself. He hungry, he in the desert. And the devil pop up and say, man, what's up, man? You ain't got to do this shit. All these lame ass motherfucking folk, they ain't really believing you anyway. I mean, they gonna kill you, man. Just let me give you the world. And he holds fast to the mission. That is such a powerful message. Dare I not have the faith to push through hard times? Why would I complain? Why would I complain to God? How much of an insult would that be to my grandmother who was educated in the deep, dirty rural South? How much of an insult would that be to my grandfather who had to drop out of school in third grade to raise his sisters and help his mother? I just don't have it in me. And I'm not saying that hard times ain't coming. I'm not saying that hard times ain't gonna beat you down, but hard times will shape you and make you, man. It take a fire to bend metal. It takes steel to sharpen steel. So I just don't accept that hard times not supposed to come. They gonna come.
I'm feeling this. I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. You see it, man. You see it, man. And I gotta give Killer Mike props on that. I got to. Real or fake, whether you believe that is a very true statement. I didn't even think about it that way. But I think about it in this way. We look at the Bible like Instagram, and we are all Jesus because we all are the star in our own story. But I'm gonna use it in this reference, right? Because the Bible talks about a bunch of people who got sometimes blessed and cursed, but it's a lot of regular people that don't get talked about like that. They might get a little mention, but we see ourselves as Jesus or the apostles or disciples, whatever you, or Moses or Isaac, Joshua, Jacob, Job, Noah, Boaz, Solomon, King David. Like we see ourselves in that light. So I forgot how to say Erad, Shadrach, and Abednego. I always mess that up. But the part about the love we kind of miss because we're all tempted in life. We have people who say, yeah, I'm with you, I'm down, I got you back. And then, like he said, they went to sleep. Whether they went to sleep literally or went to sleep figuratively, they went to sleep on you. We all get tempted with the idea of not necessarily, sometimes the devil, in all honesty, sometimes the devil, we're feeding the devil in us because we're upset. The mission is to do right and do good in the world, if that's your mission, right? But what if doing good ain't giving you anything back? Because that's part of the Jesus story. Is like Jesus is a story of a man who did a lot of great things in the world. And the world didn't love him the way he loved the world. Gave his life to a world that didn't love him the way he loved it. You know, Father, why have you forsaken me? Which means abandoned for some of y'all. And we don't think about it, but we have that conversation with God. A lot of us do. But we feel forsaken. We feel abandoned. We feel like our prayers aren't being answered or heard. We feel like, pass this cup from me. which some of y'all who don't know the Bible reference to that. Uh, Jesus knew he was going to get crucified, and he knew he was going to get tortured and crucified. And he asked, could you pass this cup for me? Meaning, could you not do this? Could I do something else other than this? Like, could you please try something else? And that's why the crucifixion in the Bible and the crucifixion in the Quran are different. The crucifixion in the Bible is like you see it and have heard it, the beat, tortured, whipped, spit on, all that, stabbed, all that stuff. The crucifixion in the Quran is all that stuff happened in a sense as an illusion because God couldn't go through with it, with actually doing that to his son. So what we feel persecuted, we feel tortured, we feel crucified, we feel like we're too good for the bad that befalls us. We're seeing people, as Killer Mike was talking about the reference with the devil, like, man, I could look, man, we ain't got to do all that, man. These people ain't real anyway. I could give you the world. And he like, nah, I'd rather be broke and poor and then you give me the world. But in our world right now, we see a lot of people we think are blessed by the devil. Because how could God bless that? Because you know there came a point where we thought everybody who had material things was blessed by God. But life will teach you otherwise. You know, we live in a country where devilish people are the founding fathers, right? And those people are great and blessings, and God bless them and God bless America. It's not true. But fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we are trying to be our own version of Jesus. But the vast majority of us aren't willing to go through what Jesus went through. And just a short amount of time, by the way, just a short amount of time. You know, and I think about it in the sense of when they say, you could gain the world and lose your soul. Some of us, rather than be crucified in our own life, we'd rather gain the world and lose our soul because it's an easier choice. And ironically, I think some of us would rather sell our soul and still expect to get into heaven, which is, I don't understand that logic. But I was talking to my lady about this earlier today that having this issue with being in the world but not of the world, because the world is not a good place to good people. The world is not a good place to honest people. You know, the world is not necessarily a good place to positive people. It's weird like that. But the question is, are you willing to stick to the mission? Are you willing to stay you and stay true to you, and true to right, and true to good, and true to God? You know, and I gotta say, it's hard, man. You know, it's hard. You want to end, you want to have an ending like Joseph, but do you actually want your brothers to sell you out and be, you know, in the dungeons and almost have your life taken from you and be Me Too'd? And I don't think you want that. You want to be Job, but do you want your whole family to dying of all these calamities and illness and ailments and feast and famine and poverty and then come out on the other side. I mean, I don't even know if Job was happy on the other side, because it's like, yeah, he had more than he ever had before, but he lost so much, man. He would love to have that more with the family that he lost, you know? So the question sometimes is, how much do we love God? Do we love him to go through the fire and see him on the other side? Or, you know, are we hoping to just bail out when the going gets tough and just hope that he can be covered by grace and just say, screw it, you know, I knew you couldn't do it. And it's like, I don't know. Where Jesus is a person who saw it all the way through. And what you got to understand, and dope guy, because at one point he did it reluctantly. And the question is, can we do it reluctantly? We, you know, I don't know. I don't know. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it to you.